Obviously, Candace Owens is kind of what you would consider a consummate contrarian. She seems very taken with the idea of being original. So, I think as much as anyone in the last years here, I've been exposed to her through the news and through various and sundry YouTube videos of other people I watch who watch her. I don't actually watch her a lot that much these days, anyways. I guess my biggest problem, perhaps, well, I think the notion of one of the problems I have with her, and I think perhaps the biggest problem she has, I'll cut out that middle part there so I sound eloquent, maybe. I think the biggest problem she has to do with the notion of observation versus interpretations. In my opinion, observations are pretty much always correct. They're not the issue for the most part. It's the interpretations where things start to get dicey, and especially if you hang on to the interpretation in spite of evidence to the contrary, in spite of reality itself, it would necessarily entail instability because you're not acting in accordance with reality. Candace Owens seems to be the type of person who has jumped a lot of fences in order to maintain her beliefs. She's burnt a lot of bridges, cast aspersions on a lot of stuff, going so far as to say she's left the cult of science. So, yeah, feels like that's going to be an issue for her. What was the other thing I was going to say? And it's one of those things where I tend to think your ideas, it's not enough for them to describe like a static state reality, right? They have to be able to describe a fluid reality, not just how things are at this moment of time, but how things were in the past and how that led to the present, or how things will be in the future, right? They have to be predictive to some extent and useful to, endure. And it feels like Candace is kind of past the point where that's the case with her, in that her ideas are so disconnected, if that makes sense. Anyways,